Hialeah Educational Academy class of 2019. Our distinguished platform guests and the faculty honor escort. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing as we welcome the City of Hialeah Police Cadets, Post 589, for the presentation of colors, followed by Senior Estrella Ramos, as she will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated.
Thank you, Ms. Ramos and City of Hialeah Cadets. At this time, it is my honor to call to the podium the man who was entrusted with the responsibility of making our school a reality 11 years ago, and who has been successful in transforming that vision into a beacon of hope for the youth of our community. Principal Carlos O. Alvarez.
Good afternoon, or good morning still, parents, guests, students, community leaders. Before we begin, I'm going to call up Pastor Mark Rodriguez to lead us with a prayer prior to beginning our commencement ceremony. At this time, if we can please stand.
Good morning. If you'd bow your heads and close your eyes. Loving God, we pray today that you would bless this beautiful gathering. We thank you for Cohia, for its leadership and faculty, for the love that they have poured into the lives of every student that walks through their doors. We also want to thank you for the graduating class of 2019. You have blessed them during their years in school with knowledge, friendship, and skills. May you continue to challenge them to make this world a better place because of their education. Help them to look forward to their next steps, continuing in their education and entering into the workforce. Give them faith and a sense of purpose in their steps. Prosper them relationally and financially. Show them how to serve and love others in effective ways. We pray that you would protect them and give them wisdom. For your word teaches us, wisdom is sweet to the soul, and if we find it, our future will be blessed and hope will not be cut off. And last, Father, I ask that you would always make them aware that they would fulfill your will for their life, that you will be with them always, and that you will bring to completion the good work that you have begun in them. Amen. Amen.
You may be seated. Once again, good morning, faculty, staff, parents, community leaders, and most importantly, Cohia graduating class. On behalf of the City of Hialeah Education Academy, I would like to extend my warm gratitude for attending and participating in this grand celebration. Your children have accomplished their first major milestone. This morning, we will be celebrating the graduation of the class of 2019 and celebrating 11 years of our Career and Collegiate Academy Model School. I'm both honored and humbled to be joined by so many influential, inspirational, motivating, and progressive community leaders, educators, and heroes. I would like to welcome and thank the following individuals for joining us today. We have the Honorable State Senator Manny Diaz Jr., a big brother to me. Thank you, sir, for your endless support and believing in the vision of Cohia and how phenomenal our model is. Again, thank you for your countless hours of work with the Florida State Legislature and being a champion for parental choice schools and Cohia. We have our Vice Chair, Vivian Casals Munoz. Thank you, ma'am, for your vision and believing that education is at the forefront of this community in Hialeah. We epitomize what a true partnership is between community leaders and a school community, and how together, not good things, but great things can be accomplished. Our extremely supportive council members that are here with us today that dare to dream big for the better of the students in our community and collaborate and gather information on our new educational initiatives. And we have Council Member Carl Zogby here with us today. Our academic family, President Fernandez Zuleta, Vice President Maggie Fresson, Victor Barroso, Julio Robina, and Danny Diaz that's here with us today, who have always entrusted, encouraged, and given us the autonomy to continue leading charter schools with innovative approaches, academic rigor, relevance, and building relationships that will be both inside and outside our classroom walls while empowering our parents for choice schools. The individuals that protect us are first responders and are true heroes of this community. The command staff of City of Hialeah Fire Department, we have Fire Chief Willens Guerra, Deputy Chief Ray Malin, Rescue Chief Emmanuel Lewis, Logistics Chief Freddie Perez. Special thank you to our training chief, Scott Disbrow, for sharing your facility with our students. And our district chief, public informational officer, David Rodriguez. And I also have the honor of having Academy Director Stephen Lyon with us today from the Florida program. And one of our lead instructors, George Lance. The command staff of the Hialeah Police Department, Commander Rudy Bello, Commander John Perez, Lieutenant Rick Fernandez, Lieutenant Michael Rosengaus, Sergeant Felix Delgado, and also one of our lead instructors, Sergeant Julie Fernandez. Always knows how to make the grand entrance. My additional academic colleagues that have shown enormous support for our school the past 11 years, Christine McGuinn, Alina Chester, Adriana Lima, Jeanette Nunez, Anna Martinez, and Vanessa Picard. I want to thank our amazing leadership team and our faculty and staff that pour their hearts into educating our students, your children, and believe in what we do. You all exemplify to our students what the possibilities are with an education. We all know that some of these students graduating today will be first-generation college-bound students. And because of the relationships that have been built from the heart, pushing our students to exercise their growth mindset and stepping out of their comfort zone so they can reach their optimal potential. You allow them to champion their voice, sometimes more than others, while at the same time pushing them for the skills to become greater. You know, as I sat last night and I was trying to culminate what I had to say, you know, every graduating class is special and has a significance, you know, no matter what my role may be at Cohia, and no matter how I might be directly impacted by you all. So as I was brainstorming, I said, what stands this class out? What makes them different? Every graduating class is unique and they're different from each other. This class, little history lesson, this class was our first ever 6th grade class. And we just started with 23 students. But at that point, those 6th graders called the rec center their home. And we started with 23, and this morning we're graduating 116. Will the original 6th grade class please stand up to be recognized? You may be seated. Some of them, when it's an old group, we call them OG. At Cohia, we call them OB, so they're old Bulldogs. So the best way that I can describe this class is the word resilient. Resilient because you fought cancer and survived it to graduate. Resilient because you survived being in the crossfire of gunshots, got hit by a bullet, and are graduating. Resilient because you survived and coped with family emergencies and family death. Resilient because you adapted to the school in a couple of years and some of you in just 1 year. Resilient because you came to this country from Cuba 5 years ago, only 5 years ago, not knowing one word of English, and today you are graduating with an associate's degree and a high school diploma. Resilient because you didn't give up in applying and calling me and making sure that your application got in of over 200 students and be accepted into the Florida Senate Pages program. Resilient student athletes that fought over 13 innings to win a baseball game. Resilient academic scholars. A resilient group of 11 students that received an associate's in arts degree from Miami-Dade College. A resilient group of 3 students that earned their associates in arts degree from Doral College. Would you please give everyone in the crowd and the audience the honor? Will the 13 dual degree graduates please stand up to be acknowledged? Our school has continued, you may be seated. But if you want to stand up for the next 2 hours, that's fine too. Our school has continued to be one of U.S. News and World Report's best high schools in America, and because of reasons like this, our teachers are being credentialed to be professors, teaching college-level classes, adding additional industry certifications to prepare our students to be college-ready, having partnerships with Barry University to have the first ever EMT program offered on our campus, supplemental tutoring services on Saturday, and you parents probably all went through it before, small group instruction, the evolution of our social media campaigns, and yes, having one of the top teachers in the city of Hialeah. And the list goes on. I truly believe that you lead by example, and the example that we at Hialeah have set for our entire school is unparalleled. Class of 2019, I'll leave you with this. Every time you were convinced that you couldn't go on, you did. Grit is that extra something that separates the most successful people from the rest. Grit is passion, grit is perseverance, and grit is that stamina that we must channel in order to stick with our dreams until they become a reality. Remember, this will never be, and I'll say this to every single class, this will never be a goodbye. This will always be, I'll see you later. And always remember, once a Bulldog. Congratulations to the class of 2019. We love you all. At this moment, I would like to call Executive Director from the Florida Alliance of Charter Schools, Lynn Norman Tech, with a special representation.
Thank you, parents. I want to say congratulations to you. The parents are a big part of the students' success, and the students, I'm so proud of the hard work everyone has done. But I'm here to thank Senator Manny Diaz. On behalf of the National Charter School Alliance, they looked at elected officials who moved the bar on quality education. And Senator Diaz has been a fierce leader, striving for quality education options in the state of Florida. He's been a passionate advocate for parents and parental rights and for students. And he's been a tireless fighter for our teachers and students. So on behalf of the National Charter School Alliance, I have an award as the 2019 Champion for Charter School Leader.
Truly a superhero. And now I'd like to bring up to the podium our Vice Chair and President of the City of Hialeah Council, Mrs. Vivian Casals Munoz.
I understand you're a council member in the Miami Lakes, but just to clarify, in Hialeah they're called presidents and vice president. So just to clarify, because I know that you used to know what happens in Hialeah, but since now you're council member in Miami Lakes, so just to clarify, point of clarification.
Buenas tardes a todos. Muchísimas gracias por estar aquí. Hemos estado hablando inglés y quería asegurar que todo el mundo entienda lo que estamos haciendo aquí. Mi nombre es Vivian Casal Muñoz y me da un orgullo de estar aquí hablando de parte del alcalde Carlos Hernández. Desafortunadamente tuvo una emergencia en su familia y no pudo estar aquí con nosotros, pero quería asegurar que está aquí siempre apoyando a esta escuela, apoyando a los residentes, a los padres y a los niños de la escuela. So, muchísimas gracias por permitirlo estar aquí a hablar con ustedes. Quería dejarles saber por qué esta escuela existe. La escuela de Hialeah Education Academy es la primera escuela que estaba que la ciudad de Hialeah empezó. Empezó esta escuela porque el alcalde
que empezó la idea de traer, no resisto este micrófono, no podemos hacer algo. Ahorita me quito el micrófono porque me van a oír mejor. La razón que empezó la escuela es por un líder que realmente... If I speak further back, they'll hear me without it. ¿Estoy mejor así? Me dijeron que no me acerque al micrófono, todo el mundo me dice que quite el micrófono, no sé qué hacer. Pero fue un líder que tenía la visión de asegurar que todos los niños que estén en la ciudad de Hialeah y todos los niños de la comunidad de nosotros aseguren que tengan una oportunidad de graduarse de high school. Hace 11 años que empezó esta escuela, había una preocupación que hay muchos niños que no se estaban graduando de high school. Y estamos buscando una manera, no solamente para asegurar que los niños se gradúen de high school y que vayan al college, pero que tengan un oficio que ellos pudieran tener y pudieran usar en su vida. Y eso empezamos, lo que en Cuba se llamaba Escuela de Arte y Artesanía, ¿no? Y eso es lo que empezó el Charter School. Y aseguramos que ellos que se pudieran graduar con el equipo de poder trabajar en la comunidad si no iban a ir al college. Y como ves, hoy en día, después de 11 años, no solamente se gradúan de esta escuela con el high school diploma, pero también como graduados de un college del condado. Y esta idea fue de Julio Robaina, que fue alcalde cuando aquello, y que empezó esta escuela y ha crecido esta organización y estas escuelas, los charter schools, por todo el estado. Y le quiero dar gracias a todos ustedes por mantener su fe en las escuelas para tener a los niños en esta escuela de Charter School, Hialeah Education Academy. I want to thank all the parents. I want to thank all the parents for having the faith in the school and making sure that our children that were in the specter of not graduating from high school back 11 years ago, that they had an opportunity to go to a school that would teach them a trade. And the trade that they're teaching, the trade that is taught in this school is of superheroes. Because the trade that's taught is for firemen, policemen, and those are our true superheroes. So I want to thank all of you, all the firemen, all the policemen, for doing what you do every day, saving lives and making sure that our citizens are very well protected and that you're teaching our students to be phenomenal students and future leaders of our community.
So without further ado, I'd like to bring up our keynote speaker for today, Florida State Senator for District 36, and our big champion for our school and choice movement, Senator Manny Diaz Jr.
Thank you, Principal Alvarez, and congratulations on another successful year in our community. Thank you to the City of Hialeah Education Academy Board. Thank you for all you do. President Vivian Casals Munoz, proper title. And especially thank you to the fire department, the police department, all of the officers and the top brass that give your time to make sure that our kids in our community have this opportunity. This is a unique opportunity, and I'll talk to that in a little bit. I also want to thank Lynn Norman Tech. Thank you for the award, and thank you to the National Charter School Alliance. But that award really belongs to these kids, because that's why I do this. That's what we need to do, and everybody here on this stage and the faculty that's down there in the front works every day for these kids. A los padres, a los abuelos, a los tíos, le quiero decir hoy felicidades, porque este día también es un día muy orgulloso para ustedes. 13 años de colegio y han llegado a este punto. Hay que felicitarlos, porque sin ustedes estos muchachos no llegan aquí hoy, y felicidades a ustedes. The class of 2019 Bulldogs. First, I want to congratulate you and tell you that we need to celebrate today because, like I said to the parents, it's been 13 years of school. And I know it sounds like 12, but it actually includes kindergarten, so it's 13. And you're ready to go out into the world. So when I was getting ready to prepare my speech, I prepared some bullet points, and then Principal Alvarez comes up and he steals some of my words. So he knew I was going to use, but it's okay. It's okay. So I'm going to start with a quote. And this quote is really specifically directed at the Hialeah Bulldogs, and you'll see why. Winston Churchill said that success is not final, failure is not fatal, and it is the courage to go on that counts. I think that Principal Alvarez highlighted some examples, but I know there's many, many more in this class, many stories to be told, many things that you have overcome to get to this point, and that part we should celebrate. So success, today celebrate the culmination of 13 years, celebrate everything that you have achieved to this point. Stop. Take a moment, take it all in. Your family's here, the community's here, your professors, your teachers are here, and everybody's here to celebrate you. So first of all, take that success and celebrate it today. But understand that this here today is not final. And that's the first part of the quote, because success is not final. This is the first leg for you guys. So celebrate it, but there are other things coming forward for you. Number two, failure will happen. It has happened to all of us, and it will continue to happen. So if you think that you're going to go on the rest of your life without having failures, number one, clearly you're wrong. It's going to happen. But number two, it's important that it happens, because it's not how many times you fail, but how many times you get up from that failure. And it's not that it is a failure, it is that it is a learning opportunity for you to do things better. No one on this stage that has gotten to the point they've gotten here, including myself, have gotten to this point without failing. If you don't fail, you don't learn. So when you're in that moment of failure and you're going through it, I know sometimes it's hard. It's hard in the moment to think about it. But the sun's going to come up the next day and you're going to be ready to continue to fight. And I know that that is the spirit of the Hialeah Bulldogs. So I know you're going to get up. If you fall down 7 times, you're going to get up 8. Another quote from Winston Churchill, just to put that one through. If you're going through hell, keep going. Because sitting there is not going to help you. Get to the other side. The courage to continue going. This is what I believe is the essence of Hialeah Educational Academy. This is the essence of the Bulldogs that are sitting on this stage, that have sat on this stage before you, and that will sit on this stage after you. It is the ability, no matter what obstacle is thrown in your way, to continue fighting. And what I ask of you is to take that attitude out into the world and show them who the Hialeah Bulldogs are. And no matter what obstacle is thrown in front of you, say, that doesn't matter. I'm going to continue fighting. I'm going to continue going through. Because I think that, you know, speaking to one of the things that your principal highlighted, which you stole my word, is grit. And I think that this school, this faculty, this staff, the firemen, the policemen, everybody who's involved here, everybody from the cafeteria, I've witnessed it because all of you know I've walked into your school many times. And don't let anybody else know this, but it's the school I walk into the most, so keep it quiet. So when I walk into the school, I can feel the energy, and I know that there's that grit that you are going to continue on, and that there are all these stories, individual stories, that make up Hialeah and what the Bulldog spirit is. So I'm going to give you 4 things to go on with. Number 1, opportunity. You are right now been given an incredible opportunity. But I want to make it clear, because I don't want you to leave here without understanding what I'm telling you. You are being given the opportunity of education. And for those in the very front row who have already achieved an associate's degree, this is the great equalizer that opens all doors. But it happens here, in this country, because without a doubt, without a question, this is the greatest country on the history in the history of this green earth. And you are now receiving the key to that opportunity. And so when you talk about grit and you know, going past these obstacles and all those things, you are here on this stage despite all of that, and you have this opportunity. This is the key to the future for you. Education is that equalizer. Doesn't matter where you came from, what country, your family life, what obstacles you went through, you're here today, and that opportunity is in front of you. And what we ask is that you take advantage of that opportunity. Number 2 is gratitude. It is extremely important that we stop and think about the people that have helped us along the way. Mami, papi, abuelo, abuela, tia, our teachers, our principals, assistant principals, the custodial staff, the staff at the park, anybody who has helped you along the way. It is important that you show gratitude. There are many ways to show gratitude. Besides a simple gesture of thank you, letting somebody know that you appreciate what they've done for you. That goes a long way. People remember that. But number 2 is they've done this for a reason. And what they would like to see, and I think they'd all agree, is for you to take this opportunity and go forward and show them all gratitude by your achievements. And 10 years from now, when you come back and you're talking to your teachers, some of these policemen, some of the firemen, your principal, you can tell the story of what you have achieved and have gratitude for those who have helped you. Never forget where you came from. No matter where you go, have gratitude. The third one is grit. And that's where Principal Alvarez stole my line, but what is grit? The ability, look, it's not the smartest people, it's not the strongest people, it's not the biggest people. It is those that are sitting on the stage, I know, have that attitude. It is those that are willing, no matter what, to continue, to get up every day and try their hardest. And when that doesn't work, they try harder. And excuses are out the window. And you just continue to grind and grind and grind until you get where you are. And that's how you got here today. But this is not the last stop on that trail. And so I look forward to your grit. The last thing is time. Make the most of your time. This event today will be a flash in your memory. And you'll wake up one day and wonder how you're 25 years down the line from here and what happened. Cherish each moment with your loved ones. Those grandfathers and grandmothers, cherish the time they're here because they won't be here forever. Cherish the time with your parents, your cousins, your siblings. Cherish the time with your good friends. Cherish the time with the leaders that have been good to you. But also, take your own time. Take a time to stop and realize not only what you have achieved, but what you have in your life. And I will tell you that the greatest resource is time. You can never get that back. You can lose your money, you can get it all back, but you can't replace time. And with that, I'll give you a quote from someone who I think your generation actually knows who he is. Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple, said, "My favorite things in life don't cost any money. It's really clear that the most precious resource we all have is time." And so remember that. Cherish your time. Remember opportunity, gratitude, grit, and time. Congratulations, class of 2019. For all your achievements and all of that you have yet to achieve. I'll leave you with, I got one more little quote for you that's directed to the Bulldogs. So it says, "Bulldogs, remember, it's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog that matters." Go Bulldogs! God bless you all. God bless the state of Florida. And God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
See what happens when Senator Diaz teaches me about grit. I start talking about it before him. Now we're here to celebrate, and we're almost there, but we're going to celebrate 2 students with a scholarship, and we're going to call them up at this time. I have one of the executive directors from Academica, Danny Diaz, coming up to the stage to present one of our students, who could it be, with a scholarship this morning.
Good morning, everyone, and congratulations, class of 2019. My name is Danny Diaz, and I'm the Director of Community Relations for Academica. But today I'm here on behalf of the Matter Foundation. I'm here to present the You Matter Senior Scholarship Award. Throughout the year, the Matter Foundation provides assistance for our schools, including but not limited to teacher mini grants, summer enrichment scholarships, field trips, technology, supplements, and many other forms of support. At this time of the school year, we award the You Matter Senior Scholarship. The You Matter Senior Scholarship rewards students who has succeeded both inside and outside of the classroom and is directed towards an individual driven to make a difference today and lead tomorrow. This year's You Matter Senior Scholarship recipient, who will be attending George Washington University, is Katlyn Rodriguez.
Thank you, Mr. Danny Diaz. And now with our other scholarship, all uniform wear.
Good afternoon, friends, family, and class of 2019. On behalf of all uniform wear, I'm so proud to be here sharing with you guys today, and we will be announcing the recipient of our Francisca Gonzalez Positive Impact Scholarship. All uniform wear was founded by Mr. Moises de Paz. One of the most positive impacts in his life was provided by a teacher who impressed upon him the importance of an education. Regardless of economic and political challenges, which is why, despite his entrepreneurial pursuits, he always pushed for his daughters to earn their degrees. We've chosen to honor both Moises and his teacher, Ms. Francisca Gonzalez, with the All Uniform Wear Francisca Positive Impact Scholarship. Today, this student has not only excelled academically, but he has made an impact in his home, his community, his school, and all those who surround him. Let's give a warm congratulations to Francisco Vargas for winning. We hope that this continues to inspire you to work toward your goals and always impact those around you. Thank you.
So in the spirit of giving, we're going to continue that. You know, you've heard from a lot of us here this morning. You know, I've been at Cohia for 11 years. I've been blessed to be the founding principal and still be the principal. And, you know, you come across certain people in your life sometimes that like I said to the kids, are really resilient. And it takes a lot to impress me in the sense of people that are giving of their heart and giving to our school, because sometimes as parents, as administrators, we give so much of ourselves. So to find someone that you have that in common with, you know, sometimes it's not too common. And to find some people that you have that in common with and can do it for such a longevity of time, it's hard to find. It's like those diamonds. You know, you have to really polish them to get to see how shiny they are. So this year we decided to to give some awards to what we call the Cohia Champion. At this time, it gives me great honor to call up the following individual for her endless support and dedication to our students, our families, and our community of education. One of this year's Cohia's champion. It is my honor to bring up Miss Aime Cinnamon Simpson. Ms. Simpson will be starting her 10th year with us next school year. 10th year for sure. She's not going anywhere. In addition to that, another Cohia champion that has proven her leadership, and I've really seen her come up, you know, along the line from being an activities director to doing, and I'll give you some history, to you know, starting with me as an activities director, then taking over a department, and then, you know, anything that I ask of her, I mean, she personifies what a Bulldog is. She's going on her 11th year with me, and I've seen all facets of her. You know, the most giving heart, the most golden heart, always willing to give and serve for our students. It gives me great honor to present the Cohia Champion this year award to Graciela Carvajosa. Let's give it up for Miss Simpson and Miss Carvajosa. And now I'll pass it back to Miss Carvajosa.
As you look at these 116 radiant graduates, I want you to know that you're looking at 116 young adults who have persevered countless obstacles to be able to stand before you today. 3 of them have been chosen to speak on behalf of this trailblazing class. It is with great pleasure that I welcome to the podium the first of these 3 speakers, and it is none other than Gabriel Herrera. One of our OB's original Bulldogs. He is also a Miami-Dade College graduate. Gabriel.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, faculty, administration, esteemed guests, and fellow graduates. It has all led up to this moment. After years of waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning and spending 8 hours jumping from class to class, studying relentlessly and taking exam after exam, the pinnacle of our secondary education has arrived. With no other obstacle left, it's about time to roll out the red carpet and finally say to ourselves, we did it. For some, it was not easy to reach her. Some have had to overcome numerous boundaries, as Ms. Carvajosa previously alluded to, ranging from language differences to family backgrounds. Some have been inching their way toward a finish line that they had initially thought would be unattainable. For others, they breezed through school as if it were a cakewalk. Others feel that it was only yesterday they first stepped foot into school. Nevertheless, each and every single one of us here today has their own story to tell. And many have pictured this moment as their happily ever after, or the end of a long chapter of a book that is still waiting to be written. To think this all began 7 years ago, back when there was only 20 or so students, specifically 23, myself included, in Slade Park's Recreation Center. There's only one teacher. Back then, there was no second or third building. Back then, the school had only approximately half of what its current population is. Back then, things were much more simple. For instance, we had the entire cafeteria to ourselves. So all of us brought Beyblades, Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and Nintendo DS's to pass the time. It was our own little recess that all of us took part in. While we were in class, we even had a Skype conversation with a fellow school in Philadelphia. I don't know if you remember that, Albert, but it happened. It was through these experiences that we started to break out of our comfort zones. And it was through there that friendships have blossomed and have continued to do so to this day. Despite having diminished in numbers to about 10. We were here since day one. And we have indirectly helped set the groundwork for the expansion of this school and the legacy of this graduating class of 2019. I like to call these legacy seniors because they have not been through these halls. They weren't here through these halls. They grew up in them. They didn't just meet classmates, they met lifelong friends. This is a small, special minority that is still here, and I want to take a moment now and recognize them for a second time. Please stand to be recognized. The original sixth graders, the original Bulldogs, the original sixth graders. The original sixth graders. All right, sit down. Sorry. All right. From there, things had only looked up for our class. 7th and 8th grade brought more students in an entirely new middle school. There were more new faces and more new people we met. The aforementioned legacy seniors started to experiment with academies to find their calling with the help of the exploratory career wheel. Some went to fire, some went to police. We were in 9th grade when we were introduced to another expansion of the school with a second building. More people came, and more bonds were being formed. In our sophomore year, we saw the first ever episode of EATV in our classrooms. Okay. We also started to grow and mature into adults. We felt like we had everything figured out, and that we could be more independent from our parents. So we did. Some of us were more independent than others. Some even started to drive to school. When we were juniors, took the school by storm as we came in unison as minions. We showed the class of 2018 we were worthy successors to the throne. Our passions had developed more than ever before. At the same time, I went to Tallahassee with a few other distinguished students and staff with the help of the Florida government to provide the financial support needed to expand even more. We were seniors when we saw that expansion come into full fruition with a third building. Throughout this school year, we made our mark as the kings and queens of this school, metaphorically And now, it has finally led us to here. 7 years of the school's history and 7 years of our history intertwined with one another. We were dumb at times, but we learned. We are small at numbers, but we are strong together. It's like that one Khaled song. We were young, dumb, and broke. High school kids. Last year's seniors said in their commencement speech that they saw the entire school's transformation. They didn't. We did. And yet, there's only one side of the story. Many of us have had support at home from our parents, no matter how big or small that support was. Day in and day out, no matter how big or small, they helped us with what we already needed.